President Trump loves to get before the camera in one way or another. These briefings have turned into a kind of version of Trump's rallies that we became used to.
Does anybody think the media is honest?
In which there was often quite a bit of media bashing.
Fake, disgusting news.
Now it takes a different form because, of course, the subject is very serious.
Don't
Mr.
be
President, my
threatening.
question is...
Don't be threatening. Look, don't be a cutie pie. Be nice. Well, I just think it's a nasty question. And you know what? That's why nobody trusts the media anymore.
One of the things that we see happening on a regular basis is President Trump will take offense to a question that seems pretty straightforward and even tame.
What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.
There was absolutely nothing about that question that should have set him off.
It's a very nasty question. That's really bad reporting.
I think that reporters have been pretty steady and have continued to do their jobs. You know, another person whose questions he doesn't seem to like is Yamiche Alcindor.
You've said repeatedly that you think that some of the equipment that governors are requesting, they don't actually need. You said New York might not need 30,000. You said it on Sean Hannity's Fox News. You said
that why don't you people act? Let me ask you.
You said
why
some
don't
states.
Why don't you act in a little more positive? It's always trying to
My
get
question to you
get
is,
get you.
It's a little hard sometimes not to make the connection between her being a woman of color and the sort of antipathy that he shows.
People go, you used to be with a different newspaper than you are now. You know, things like that happen.
I think she's just being insistent at most about getting her questions answered. His pattern is to go after those whom he finds to be particularly confrontational or whose coverage he doesn't like.
Thank you, Mr.
But that's
President.
why CNN is not trusted anymore. They are not trusted. They are fake news. Remember that. I don't call it Comcast. I call it Concast. Who are you with Bloomberg, right? I can't imagine that. They say it's all the news that's fit to print. I say it's all the news that's not fit to print.
You know, it's always very hard to tell with President Trump how much is a distraction. And I think that his confrontational attitude and relationship with the press, it has worked for him. It has played to his supporters. And yes, I think in some ways it does take us away from the content.
And you should be saying congratulations instead of asking a really snarky question.
He thought that the news media should be actually congratulating him. They shouldn't be challenging him or asking probing questions. And that is really not the role of the press.
OAN. You treat me very nicely. Go ahead.
You know, One America News Network, OANN, is a pro-Trump organization. I don't really even call it a news organization.
OAN.
Jen Pellegrino with OAN.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
And there's a love fest between OANN and President Trump.
Well, that's a nice question. Thank you very much.
Using these briefings to sort of go off in different directions, not always to be factual, to trash the press, to be self-promotional, I think is one of the ways that they are similar to the rallies. So there's no question that we need to sort of harvest the news from these things, but I don't think that democracy depends on the live broadcast of these briefings, which sometimes turn into sort of a more low-key rally.